Greetings all, Shane Bruce, Resto Mod Daisy, and we're going to talk about this little guy yet again. Those of you who saw the last video may remember that this is a Daisy, let's see, model 660 toy gun. And last time we spoke about it, we were focused on the fact that it was a Ricochet shooter, and we showed you how to get the sound drum in and out of this gun. In the course of my explorations of playing around with this thing to see what else I could get it to do, I discovered, much to my surprise, that not only is it a Daisy Ricochet shooter,
it's gonna be so loud.
if you'll focus on the muzzle, it is also a Ricochet shooting smoke gun. Smoke!
Okay.
Let's do it one more time. It's so cool. Smoky. Now, you may ask yourself, as I did, how do they get that to work?
Yeah.
Well, there was only one way to find out, and you know what that way was.
Take it apart.
Take it apart. So that's what we're going to do today. Kids, we're going to show you how the ingenious engineers over at Daisy figured out how to take a Ricochet shooting gun and make it a twofer. Make it a Ricochet shooter that smokes. All right, like any other Daisy, first thing you need to do is pull the stock bolt and pull the stock off. The top stock screw has been previously removed and not reinstalled. After doing that, pull out the lever. Note the original golden color of the lever kind of got worn off with age and time, but it is the mighty 3-star straight grip. Super nice lever. I like it. Folded steel trigger. Now I want to tell the viewership that I've taken this gun apart already to divine how it made us smoke it. You know, how it was a smoking gun. So I've already cleaned up most of the bits and pieces inside. This trigger's seen better days. I've never seen a trigger that had tooth marks on it.
Well, you know.
As a toy gun. I mean, you shouldn't get that irritated with it. Now, it's going to be over to the bench because we have to remove the mighty mainspring with the mighty mainspring compressor tool. I'm going to give that a shot. Now, this is the best one I've seen, best one I've worked with, but still, it's fiddly bits.
Let's see, it's gonna fiddle with us.
Yeah, it's still going to mess with you no matter what. So let's get the gun in the vise, get the vise fairly secure. Oh, thank you. And now, and we did cover this on the last time we looked at it, the decal, which is so nice. No advancements have been made on obtaining technology to generate replacement decals, although research has been done. All right, so we're going to give this, by the way, these Ricochet pop guns, Ricochet pop smoke guns. 3 things: Ricochet sound, a pop sound, and smoke. Wait till you see the mainspring on this thing. If I can get it out of here without killing myself. You know, there's one aspect of this tool that I like, if you'll note. If you do slip off, there's enough of a guard there to keep you from slicing your knuckles. And believe me,
How many times have you done that?
with that old wooden tool I had, God, a lot of blood. But it is still a fiddly bit. There we go. We got it purchased. We got our spring block out. Now we're going to, that's too big. So let me step across you there and grab that screwdriver. Oh, come on now.
Limited mobility.
Well, I know you've got limited mobility, but I have unlimited needs of tools. All right, now watch this to reveal. Here it comes. See that little bit? That little bit is what makes the whiz wheel run. It makes the Ricochet sound. Look, it's still coming out of there. All right. Over to the bench. Yeah, is that something or what? Now, those of you who have watched the channel for a while will recognize that this is a standard Daisy plunger assembly. Now, this little guy here is set up in the mainspring, and it is set up exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 loops to the top, and on the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 loops. It has to sit in an offset. And this thing's job is to grab the top of the whiz wheel and spin it. So it has to be at the 10 loop mark on the top. This is the top because the feet are on the bottom. It will not go into the gun like that. Can't happen. That is the only way the gun it'll fit the gun. 10 loops on the top, 12 loops on the bottom. All right, everybody got that? Good deal. Now let's roll down here to the front. And I'm going to put this thing in a spring compressor to show you the difference in the mainspring length on this gun, this toy gun. Okay, so you have where the air tube normally would have been mounted if it had one.
I was like, do you have an air tube for reference?
The air tube would normally go here, but instead what Daisy did was build yet another plunger section,
Why
you know,
not?
rolled steel seamed product, with a plunger way the hell out here. And you'll note that little stud right there. Now the reason that plunger is there is so that the gun can make the pop sound. And this is how it actually would sit, about like so, in the gun. A little ahead of the back of the plunger would be about here. The spring stop would be about there. When you cock the gun, it moves back about 1.5 inches. When you pull the trigger, it goes forward 1.5 inches. Now, way up here on this end of the gun is where the compression cylinder is. There is no compression cylinder back here. And if we'll look down the muzzle of the gun, do I need to get additional light?
Probably, you know, and well, position it so we're not just running around. You see the bar.
Can you see the spring behind the bar?
If you move it up, Dad, no offense, I can't see it. The spring behind the bar? No, but there's a piece of metal behind the bar.
Yeah, but there's a spring right behind that piece of metal. Can you get the camera to resolve that? It's important because there's a small valve. Let me get one. There's a small valve assembly that's located. Is that helpful?
Can I have the light?
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, is the top one broken on this?
No, it still works.
No, you really can't see down. Oh!
Okay, there's a whole bunch of junk down there.
Yeah, well...
There's a valve and a spring and a pin. All right, and that spring is mounted at the front of the receiver, and it pushes back against the valve seat.
We'll say it's there.
Now, what happens is when you pull the trigger, this big old long piece here presses into that, creates compression. The compression volatilizes oil that is sitting on the side walls of the compression cup. And when they finally get to the point where it can release the pressure, the tappet opens, and a little spray of oil smoke. Well, oil, actually, particleized oil, drips out or puffs out, and you get the smoke effect. And then you also get the pop effect. So it's a 3-in-1 kind of gun. And that is how they make this thing work. Now, the coolio thing about it, let me get the spring compressor installed. The length of the mainspring was quite startling. I didn't expect it to be quite as long as it is, because it is longer than the standard Red Ryder spring and far longer than the Model 25 spring. Now, when we take this thing apart, that little stud's going to fall out, and I'm going to spend another hour trying to get it back in the right spot. But that's okay. We're not going to do that on camera.
Oh, so you want me to...
No, I'm going to demonstrate how long the spring is. So we pull the pin out. There's the plunger assembly. We'll stick it over here. And now we're going to release the mainspring tension. Take a look at this thing. This is the longest spring I've ever seen come out of a Daisy. Oh, wait a minute. We got to get the little piece out.
I don't know how to get a piece of metal out of my foot.
Uh-oh. That's what's happening when you walk around out here barefoot.
You know.
So there you go. That's the mainspring for the toy gun, which is massively bigger than the mainspring for a Red Ryder or any other of the small frame Daisies, and is even longer than a Cobalt 327. It's a real bear to get reinstalled. So that's how they managed to make that happen. They get the pop and the smoke by moving the compression chamber up here, putting a release valve there. They get the whiz wheel by having the whiz wheel. We'll show it to you one more time. Since we've got the gun apart, we might as well
take it all apart.
Yeah, but we're not taking the whiz wheel out. Boy, that thing was a fiddly bits mess to get back inside. And there's the whiz wheel.
Whee!
With the replaced spring, which gives it a different sound. So there you go. That is the mystery of the 660 Ricochet Pop Smoke Rifle. Look at all those extra components in there. And I took it apart because I was hoping I could get a shot tube in here, but obviously there's no room for it. Unless you did no, that still wouldn't work. Ignore that idea. All right, kids, that's all we've got for you today. This is Shane Bruce with Rest on My Daisy, signing off.